Okay, so today is the fun day. We start putting some plants in the pots that they're going to stay in, and kind of get them potted up and ready to go. So what I normally do is take um, some old dirt out of the pots that were fixed last year. I've put all new Miracle Grow potting soil in all my pots last year. So at the end of the year, I did not dump it all out. I really just kind of pulled the flowers out and left the dirt. But I'm going to take the dirt and push it, some of it in this, and mix it up with some really good dirt. And then I will put some fertilizer. And I'm using this because this is what I've got. Does it? I'm not overly picky as to which one. I just want something in there that's going to fertilize it and leave it in good shape. So we're going to start with this pot right here because I love impatiens in this. So I'm planning to put some impatiens in this, um, and I might put some other things. May leave some room too to put some other things as I get them or as they grow. I love to take impatiens and propagate them with their cuttings. Typically, it works pretty well. Um, take this out for just a second. I use my gloves for some of it, and some of it I'm sure I won't. Oh, there's something crawling in my glove. Alright, so I'm just going to break it up a little bit.
If you're enjoying today's video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate it.
So I have left my flowers sitting in water just so as we start to plant here it will be nice and the soil, their soil will be nice and wet. At the moment I have 3 of these, so I'm going to use 2 of these here, and I have this um, old pot that I love to use. I know it's rusty, but to me that's what makes it even prettier. But I like to put pink impatiens in it as well. I love that look. So let's do this. Is Imara pink impatiens. It says sun or shade. Now I know there are sun patients that likes SUN patients that like the sun and do well in the sun, but the impatiens that I normally have that are like these, um, they're not wild over the sun. They love it here. The sun never actually touches them. They get to see daylight and they get to see the light, but they don't actually. The sun doesn't actually touch them, and they typically just thrive here. So I'm just going to keep doing what I've always done. It's worked. So these are good looking plants. They've got lots and lots of new all the way down in there. So I'm just going to dig me a little hole here and squish them up in there and fill in the dirt back around it. Won't be long I'll be able to come out here and do some propagating because these have got a ton of stems on them. So that's great. Good root ball looking. Fantastic. I like to lay some of them kind of towards the side so that they'll kind of go in this direction and not put them completely straight up and down. That seems to work pretty well. So I'm just going to do that with some of the ones towards the front here that I'm going to be putting in. So in the bottom I have one of these cocoa um, things, and it just kind of helps uh, absorb and keep the moisture because there's not any drain holes in this, and it's worked well like that for a while now. So I'm going to just keep on using it just like that. I believe I will for now just do those two, because what will happen is I will come in here in the next day or two and start cutting some and propagating some, and I'll just stick those in the little edges all the way around. So I do have two left over. I'm going to put them in here. Fill this up nicely.
If you're new to my channel, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to get to know you a little better. What are your favorite flowers to plant? Do you have some that you always plant every year like I do? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. I would love to know what your favorites are.
The one thing I like to do in these big pots like this is to put some type of watering system in. And one way that I do that is with these terracotta pieces. I like to put them in water just to get them good and wet because it takes forever for them to ever start letting the water from here go in. Once I get it established, I can take the terracotta pots back out, and then the hole will be nice and established for just the wine bottle or whatever bottle you want to use to put in there. So I just fill this up, and I just kind of hold my hand over it and slide it down into the hole. So I'm going to put it kind of over in this direction just because I don't want to see it from the, once things start filling in, I don't want to see it from the front. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I like to do it at an angle, if that looks about right. Pack that dirt in there around it. Get a little bit of water there just to help pack that dirt a little bit. And then I'll leave that in there while I put the other pieces in there. Alright, so I'm going to put one of these, I think this one, and there were several pieces of this, so I thought I would take some of it apart and just put it in a couple spots just to see what it will do. I've never had this. This is Dichondra Silver Falls. However, I think the Silver Falls are the part that's coming down, and then I think there is something else in this pot that got mixed in as it was growing. So it's a happy accident as far as I was concerned, and I was more than willing to take it. It looked gorgeous, just like that. So I like to put these kind of towards the back so that they will get nice and tall in the back, and then have the other things kind of spilling out the front. I think this got a bee in my water, getting a drink of water. I think this right here will do well to kind of be a filler and a spiller, so to speak. And this one says, sun. I have never ever put my coluses in the sun either. I've always put them in the shade. So I'm going to go with the way I have always done it and the way they've always done well for me. So I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to bury them down just a little bit lower in case I need to come back and add some dirt on top. It kind of gives me an opportunity to do that. I'm going to bury them a little bit deeper than maybe you normally would, and then I'll leave some room on top to add some more dirt as we go. I actually want this one back even further, so I'm going to dig it up just a little bit and move it on back just a little bit further. I know that there are several plants in this one pot here, so I'm going to gently try my best to gently pull it out and then see if I can separate them. So like for example, this looks like one plant to me. Gorgeous. Trying to pull it gently and let the roots calmly pull apart. They're all intertwined there. There we go. That's the Silver Falls. And then I'm going to leave this one together, and I'm going to put it right here as a stiller. Just like that. Yeah, I don't usually move my plants around as much as I think I'm going to move that other coleus. Now that I'm putting this other piece in here, I don't like where it's at. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Coleus is another one that you can propagate just by cutting the leaves off, and if you've got good dirt, you can just take the new parts that you cut off and just stick them right down in the dirt, and they do really well. Okay, so I have two sizes of these. Aren't they pretty? Trying to look. Oh, I got them at a place in Pigeon Porch. You can tell by the sticker on the bottom. So I'm going to cut. These are just from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to cut some of these apart to put down in the bottom. So just kind of stuffed it down in there. No, nothing fancy. This kind of helps collect the water that comes up through there. I don't usually put tons of things in these that need heavy watering, so I just kind of water them. I do typically water every day. Typically, it's kind of the way I've always done it. Um, these say sun to part shade, so they pretty much are happy anywhere. I have usually have good luck. Begonias are just typically really easy to grow, so hopefully these will be as well. I'm going to put a couple here in the back, and then I'm going to put some other things there around the front. I love to fill up all of these kind of pots um, with shade-loving plants so they can stay up here on the porch so I can monitor and control how much um, water they actually get. If they were sitting down there on the steps with a sun-loving plant in it, they would get the rain, and I would be afraid that it would fill up the bottom of it and just too much. So any of these, I like to keep them up here near the top. They rust and all enough as it is just by having that wet dirt in there. So I've got this one that doesn't have any holes in it, so this is another one that I leave up here on the porch.
Here's the rusty little teapot planter that I have that I also put some impatiens in. Like I said, it's only been 3 days. Look how much they have grown. And this is the pot of pink impatiens. Here we have the pot of begonias. The mixed pot, that's the smaller one. Up here's the larger one. And then we have this large pot with the colas in it. So everything is doing well, holding its own. Hopefully it will continue to grow. I'll keep you updated.